Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations. I am Uakeisha and this is
Tikisha.
and you notice we have a special guest sitting here with us. This is my good friend and one of my clients, Millie. I almost said your wrong last name. I'm sorry.
Goodwin.
Goodwin. Goodwin.
Good and win.
Yes.
Okay.
Good
Goodwin. Listen, we invited Millie here with us today. People have been telling us, are asking.
Yes,
And I'm sure
people have been asking.
I'm sure people always ask you, when you gonna have
Can
a
you-
guest,
yes.
or when you gonna
Can
have
I be a
Can I
guest?
be a guest? Can I be a guest? And I always, and I'm sure we think similar. I always wonder why people want to be a guest. Millie has never asked me, "Can I be a guest? When I'm gonna be a guest?" But one thing that's important to me is people understand the flow of how we do things. And um, when you met her for the first time, I didn't tell you who was coming or whatever. She just kind of floated in the room like she do. She floated in the room, and you was just like, "I love her."
Yes,
And
I love
I said to you, like, I thought about her being one of our first guests, and because when we talk, when Millie come to see me, I mean, it's been all kinds of conversations from talking about girl talk stuff to church to God to husband to this to, and she always have the same spirit, and I love that about you. There's a difference, and me and Tikisha have talked about people who walk in a room and they are a know-it-all, and they're the loudest person in the room, but you are not. You loud, but you not.
Keep it real.
But you have a big personality. There's a difference. Right? There's a difference. So I thank God for you for that. So I asked her, my friend, and she was in agreement. And thank you for being our guest today.
You are so very, very welcome, my sister. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here. In case you said so many nice things about me.
Well, you know
That's one thing though I will say about you, Keisha. You will give a compliment. And people don't. You may think that that's normal, but that I don't want to say it's abnormal, but it's rare.
Right.
I'm around a lot of women all the time, and they don't give compliments as freely as you give compliments.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate. You know what? It's so natural to me, and I think because I have always wanted to receive compliments, and I have not always gotten them. So I know how I want to feel, whether it be with a friend or relationship, whatever. I want to feel good all the time. So I try to make people feel good, and you are good at that as well. Because when you walk in the room today, what you say to my friend, you was like, "Girl, you look
so pretty." What she does, look at her.
Stop.
Everything. It is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And I was like, okay, am I dressed appropriately?
You are.
I feel fine. You always make me feel fine. And just meeting you from the first time.
You left an impact on my heart that I have not forgotten, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. All I know is that the vibe was on one accord.
Yes.
And that we were very comfortable talking about whatever. And I didn't know you from
I'm already about to cry. We 3 minutes in.
I'm just keeping it real. We did. We were comfortable with each other. And I think not only does that come from our spirits connecting, but it also comes from coming into this home and being, I don't know if people believe this, underneath the subject of whatever is in the home and the spirit. Keisha, your home. I remember when I came here, I was like, oh my God, it's not all dark.
Like it used to
like
be.
It used to be. It is very airy. It is very pleasant. The aroma, the personality, everything was together. And Keisha, you know I love you, girl.
I appreciate that.
Child, I love you. You know, I was just talking to somebody about the people that service you. And for me, I was thinking about the people that do my hair, my nails, my makeup, or anything that's coming in contact with my body and my spirit. And I am just so abundantly blessed to have God-fearing women, to have women that are not jealous, to have women that encourage you,
Mm-hmm.
that you can pray for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's marvelous
Mm-hmm.
because Keisha and I have been together from whence I lost my husband,
Mm-hmm.
my late husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then the young lady that do my nails that does an awesome job, we pray.
Mm-hmm.
If I come in there and I feel bad, I remember she laid hands on me and just laid me out, then did my nails. And the young lady that works on my hair, when she got cancer, I was just like, Lord, I'm gonna find somebody else to do my hair that I'm gonna be. I can't let anybody touch my crown.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Pray. Why did he send me another sister that's God-fearing? And why did this sister go get a biopsy? And now I believe she has cancer. I said, Lord, you said this was going to be one of my ministries, but for real?
I think that you, one thing that I love about you from the time we met, one of the first, you came originally to my house when I was doing makeup in the house.
Yeah.
And I think that what really left an impression on me was when I did makeup for your, I don't even know if she's your granddaughter or I don't know what to call her. She was Tony's granddaughter, your late husband's granddaughter. I came to, yeah.
You came to the house.
Millie had me come. She said, I want you to come do makeup for my family. So I didn't know what family it was, Tikisha. I go to the house and it is her granddaughter, her daughter. But when I started talking to the people that I'm doing, I find out that it's her late husband's ex-wife.
My wife-in-law.
Her wife-in-law.
My wife-in-law.
Daughter and granddaughter. And I was like, to see how they were blended. And it was love in the room. Yeah. And that it was that was like, she's always given me lessons when it came to different situations. And I don't know if she knows that you know, you've given me lessons in different areas that now it may not happen right away, but it was something that I took like, if she
Millie is a part of your soul tribe.
Yes.
That's it.
Millie is a part of your soul tribe.
Absolutely. Wow. I like that.
Yes. We were just talking about that.
We were just talking about that.
Because a soul tribe is a person that can reach you on every level, especially spiritually.
Absolutely.
And I have friends, but I don't have.
It's giving me chills.
And sometimes they point out things to you that you don't even know you need to know yet.
Yeah.
That
because
for later.
Yep.
Because I stored that lesson for later.
Yep.
And I told her, I was just like, wow. She has children that she say, my daughter, that she didn't birth. But I've watched these daughters, baby, take up for her like I ain't never seen a blood daughter take up for a mother. On her wedding day, when she got married to her, when God blessed her with Howard. We'll talk about that. But I'm saying her wedding day, these daughters were, man, I was like, I've got lessons from you. And then when I learned about you can have, you're a person that has a balance that I haven't seen. You have a husband, you have ministries, you have friends, you're involved with this, and you're engaged, and everything about it is to help people. Wow. And when I found out about your story, not found out, when you shared with me, and I don't know if you care to share it.
It's okay.
But when you told me about your recovery story.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I can't even see that on you.
I couldn't either.
But tell us a little bit about that and how God changed your life with that.
Transformed.
Yeah.
Well, me being the person that I am today, I can see why Satan was trying to destroy me. And he tried to destroy me through drugs. And because I had a mixed and conflicting relationship with my mom, because I was daddy's baby girl, and my mother didn't like that. So it was very conflicting. And I wanted nothing but the love from my mother. But she would just push me away. And when I say that, she would push me away slightly and then say, but come here. So I remember meeting a young man, and the only thing I wanted to do was mimic my mother and father because I thought they were all of that. Bottom line, true story, I met a young man. I remember him saying, here, Mill, try this. And this was when the commercial that used to be on TV that said, this is drugs. And this is your brain on drugs. And it was a fried egg. Everybody remember that commercial. So when he said, try this, I said, I don't want that. He said, now, do you really think I'm going to let you try something that's going to hurt you? Duh. That was in 1984. I was crazy about this guy. I wanted to have his children and be married with the white picket fence. Needless to say, that didn't happen. And I tried it. I liked it. I got on it. I was strung out. And by the grace of God, he snatched me up September 22nd, 1988. That's the date on my jacket. Because every year I celebrate new life.
I was going to ask you what that date meant. I noticed it when you put the jacket on.
Yeah, this means new life. This is, my second new life. The first one was when I got saved, and then this one. And I believe, like, when you're a child, you get baptized and all that. But I got saved after this because I didn't know how good God was to me to after I came out the darkness and the fall. So once I was saved and got in September, I just told the Lord, I'm either all in or all out. I don't know how to be in between. So I had to learn balance coming to I came in through a program. I never went to a treatment center. I came in through the program of Narcotics Anonymous. It was a blessing. And I ain't looked back. And will never look back.
And how many years has been?
It'll be 36 years on September 22nd. So every year, I celebrate because I celebrate me. And I celebrate the goodness. And each year I reflect back on where I was at, what I was doing. So it is a self-program that allows you to look at yourself and where you're at and what you're doing and where do you need to be working on. So those are some of the things that I do and that I try to look at. And then with women, because I didn't grow up with a per se sister, even though I had a sister, I didn't know she was my sister. That's a whole nother story. We would have to do that another podcast. Child, because I got a sister. She grew up as my cousin. And she come to find out she was my sister. So anyway, not growing up with a sister, I always wanted that bond of a mother and women. And so come to find out that's my ministry with women, helping them in recovery in whatever way, whether it be drugs, whether it be cancer, whether it be widows. These are all some things, whether it be daughters, whatever it is. That's and I used it to my advantage because before I didn't really like women. I would look at you and say,
really?
She thinks she you.
I can't believe that.
Me either.
Well, when you're in darkness,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and when Satan
Say it.
when
Say
you're in
it.
darkness, you're total opposite of what you are.
Wow. Okay.
So I was in darkness. I thought everybody wanted, my man. I thought y'all wanted what I had. I thought y'all was copying me. So the Lord just went and he transformed me. He said, no, you're going to use that for the better, including your mouth. He's still working with me with that.
After all these years.
After all these years, okay. So I look at women as a blessing, a sisterhood, beauty. What can we do together? Building up each other, enlarging the territory, growing with each other. I love sisterhood now. And sometimes when you tell me about the balance in the different areas that I am working in, I go, what?
You forget.
I forget. I'll be like, really? I do that? and my sponsor, she's my sponsor because she keeps me spiritually grounded. She's so good for me. I love her. And then the women in my life, I just got off the phone with two of the women that are strong women in my life. And it's one other one. And we always say to each other, girl, we can rule the world. We can rule the world because we do so much together to help other women. And we do ministry and it's always something. And people be like, girl, you so busy. Then they wonder why I go out of town. Child, I need a reprieve too. Child. So, you really, when you hear it, it's different than when you do it. When you hear about what all you do, I do the good wives. That's the greeting wives of spouses. I do Visions of Hope and TTBT. TTBT stands for the ties that bind us together. That's with recovering women. I do Divine Intervention Ministries. That's my own nonprofit where we help women and build them up in whatever area. I'm like, wow, okay, what? I do my church, I'm the elder there. I'm like, what? Okay. What else I do? For real.
But you know what I like about you? Even though you do all of that, you still keep it real. You and when I say keep it real, I mean in a way that you can relate to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not so religious that you not.
Girl, I ain't gonna say give me a high five, but give me a high five.
I'm saying like you're not so religious where it's no earthly good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're faithful to God first, I believe, and your church, but it's just like, but your love for sisterhood and women and still
living life on life's terms.
Yeah.
And living life on life's terms is not all pretty. And it's not so religious where you just sit up in the room and just conversate. Baby, you got to get down in the dirt.
Yeah.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
And then when you come out the trenches, you got to shake it off. Like, okay, hey girl, what's up, boo? Because my mom used to say, never let them see you weep. Ooh, my mom used to tell me that. I'd be like, what is she talking about? Am I not ever supposed to cry? Please. I cried. She said, yeah, but you ain't gotta let them see you, baby. She gave me Mildred. I'm named after my mother. Many people don't know my real name. But Big Mill, she was a strong post, baby. She was something else. She was something, baby. She was charismatic.
Charismatic.
Come on,
Yeah.
help a sister. She was charismatic. She was down to earth, but she was cutthroat.
You done dealt with some other stuff that we've talked about too. That's why I said when I think about you, it's so many. When you talk about your father, you told me about your father,
my birth father, my daddy,
your dad, and what happened to him.
Yes.
I want you to share because we touch on that with Tikisha talks a lot about when we talk about anxiety and depression. And she doesn't know this story. So if you want to share a little bit about that.
Okay.
And then look, let me get a little water.
Let me get a little comfortable.
Because when we talk about this stuff, just doing eyelashes and I just anytime, and I just be looking like,
and it come up,
and when you share with me about your father, I said that it sounded like something off a TV show.
Yeah, my daddy was the man. First of all, baby, he was a shop dresser. He was a business man, and he knew how to make a dollar holler. Mm-hmm. He excellent morals. He loved his big meal to a fault. To the point, where things occurred outside the doors of the house. Everybody thought Fred was the man, but they didn't know what went on at home. To a point where they started finding out what was going on, what wasn't going on at home, And there was a lot of infidelities. Mm. It was very hurtful because it started impacting us as the children. And I hated it. Mm-hmm. So much it had got to a point when I talked about the conflicting relationship, I hated my mother because I saw what she was doing to my father. Mm-hmm. And situations would happen, they would get back together. Situations would happen, they would get back together. And I never will forget when my father got sick of it. And this time was different. And how I knew this time was different, when he left, it affected all of us. It was, at the time, it was 3 children up underneath my mom and dad. My younger brother caught shingles. Mm. I was spitting up blood. Mm. And my older brother was losing his mind. Because there was a break in the family from the head. Until once it was over, my mom and daddy, it was just like, what? My mom and dad had divorced after 40 years of being together. Not 10 or 20, baby. 40. With an empire. And when I say an empire, I mean an empire. Everybody in the city of Detroit knew how many businesses and AFC homes the Thomases had. It was like a TV show. Money, you name it, anything. They wasn't rich, but they were very put together. Prominent middle class. Mm-hmm. West Bloomfield home, Benzes, you name it, motorhomes, everything. But all I know is you can have every material thing, but if you don't have love, and you don't have Jesus at the forefront, it's a done deal. And what I mean by this, I thought there was God in the family.
Mhm. I think we think that a lot of times in our family.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you think you be having
I think
God?
we be thinking that God is in the middle of the family, and especially when you're doing so-called well in the
well-to-do,
in the
and you
eyes
go
of
to
people.
church
Yeah.
you do church
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then you're looking like you're doing well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the portrayal, like I said, the display.
It is a display and a betrayal
Yeah.
of family ties. So I never will forget my mom and daddy started back seeing each other. My daddy would go over there, my mama would make the meals and they would have breakfast. I told my girlfriend, they ain't gonna worry me. I said, girl, my mom and daddy about to get back together. I don't know what day it was on, but it was one day. And the next day, I was screaming and hollering through the phone because I told my pastor, they lied. They said my daddy killed himself, and they's a lie. And it was the truth. My daddy had took a gun and took it to the head in the car while my older brother was following him with 2 police cars and had committed suicide. I was in recovery, but I know I didn't have 10 years.
Did that make you relapse?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Because nothing is worth going back to that life. Nothing. That was in 1997, Christmas time. And it was devastating. I almost went into a nervous breakdown and a euphoria. How I know is because my cousin told me she had got to the house first because I had a daycare in my home. My husband at that time had went back out and was in treatment. Not too many people know that. And my cousin made it to the house and she saw me walking around in a circle.
You was about to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah. She said, cuz. My other girlfriend made it there. She said, go take her, put her in the shower. It got me in the shower. I remember the shower. And after that, I lost it because I was crying like a boo-boo baby. It was like they woke me up out of a dream. And I was amazed. I was like, okay, my daddy done killed himself. My husband done went back to treatment. I gotta take care of this house. I gotta do this. What the world is my life coming to? I got clean in 88. That happened in 97. And I did not go back out and use. What I did do, to be honest, I acted out. How I acted out, I remember a young man calling me. The one who called me and I was dating at the same time. I was dating my husband. So I was trying to decide who I wanted to be with. You know, one got this, one got this. One working the plant, the other one working the plant. You know how we do. And he called me and said, how you doing? Just said it's rough. And he played on that. And I cheated with my husband. I sure did. And I did it intentionally. I did it because I was hurt. I did it because I wanted him to hurt the way I was hurting. And I felt he hurt me by going back. I took it personal.
When he relapsed.
But when people relapse and family members don't know, it's not personal. Honey, that's that demon talking to them. And you can say, yeah, but they don't have to. No, they don't have to. But once they start and take one, it's off and running. And I never will forget, we talked to my pastor. We told everything. The best thing that could have happened to us is when he relapsed and when I cheated. And we took it to the pastor and we told everything.
You think that's why you so like from everything you saying, from things that we talk about that we go through, and you sound like, well, I ain't gonna say sound, you'd have been through a lot. And when I've heard these stories through the years of you coming, and not like you was intentionally telling me things, it was just like, girl,
Tidbits.
it was tidbits. You know, she'll be sitting there getting like, and we'll be talking about her growing up, and she's like, yeah, my father, he actually committed suicide. He killed himself. And I'm like, what? Like things that we don't know people deal with, and you are able to live your life and show so much love still to people.
Gratitude of life. It's a gratitude, Keisha. It's just a gratitude that I made it through. I didn't lose my mind. I didn't go on top of the roof and act crazy. I didn't relapse and pick up no further drugs. Because people in the program, people in the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous told me to leave him because he was using. Well, guess what? I didn't receive that. The Lord didn't tell me to leave. Matter of fact, the Lord told me, no, you're going to stay and you're going to deal with this. It's going to make you stronger. But I didn't think that's what, I thought the Lord was just having me go through something. But it was building my character. And when we told everything and became totally open, submitting ourselves to God and to another human being, we came back stronger. It was so many people that was jealous, so many people that hated, so many people that couldn't understand why she's still with him. But at the same time, it was so few and a handful that supported us, that loved us, our circle of friends. Because we had a circle of couple friends, because we were the first couple, and we were told that people are going to see what you're doing, and it's going to go on. Other couples are going to marry because you married. Other couples are going to stay together because you stayed together. So I had to walk the footsteps that the Lord, I didn't know at that time, were putting before us both. Baby, I really do. And I could just spank my little booty. I really do need to write a book.
Absolutely.
You should.
Child, I need to write a book.
You should.
It's just so much now, even as I'm talking, that I see how the Lord used me in different situations. And I'm so grateful that I stayed and I didn't walk away from this man. Because one thing I know is that he loved him some Millie.
Now you know, because speaking of infidelity, and when you've told me about the infidelity with you and your deceased husband Tony, and we see it a lot now.
Like it ain't nothing.
Like it ain't nothing. Like, you know, how did you know? Well, you say the Lord told you, because I've dealt with infidelity, but I've shared with Tikisha my path was different, because I know you watch our podcast, but I don't know if you watched the episode where I said that God he was dropping things throughout my life in my spirit that I didn't follow, and that it led me down a different path. So I knew when it happened to me, there was like, this wasn't supposed to be anyway. So I think that's why I'm like okay with it. But your situation was like supposed to be a lesson to teach other people.
Right.
I think my lesson is to teach other people how to heal in a different way.
Right. On the other end.
On the other end.
Yeah, because you were on the other end.
Yeah.
You was the one that wasn't cheating.
Right.
I was the one that did cheat.
Yeah.
Although when somebody stepped out of the marriage, Okay. Because using drugs is stepping outside. You can't compete with that.
Yeah.
You can't compete with cocaine or heroin or any drug. But the bottom line is that it's not personal. It's on that individual.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of things he could have done that he didn't. He could have ran with the money.
Mm-hmm.
He could have stopped his check. He could have whooped on me because people, when they use drugs, they get violent. Okay. He could have went and whored. He wasn't a whoremonger. He was a user. There was a lot of things he could have done. But the bottom line is that I had to learn how to still love somebody that didn't love themselves. Woo, that was so rough because I tell you, baby, that went on for years.
I can't imagine.
Baby, I never, because one thing I learned is you don't talk about what goes on inside the walls. You just don't talk about it. Because how people gonna learn if they see you talking about your own spouse?
Yeah.
Honey, I had a way of going to the NA meeting, sharing that table, but you would never know what I was talking about or who. Because I'm not going to talk about my husband, because that's still my husband, and end up staying with him to the dirt end.
And after the dirt end, you still kept that blended family with love,
baby.
And when I meet people that you know, I be looking like, how? But now I understand it more, because just how she met you, and she float in the room,
My Lord.
And I think God really done covered you, and it was meant for. Now I know why he placed people in my life the way he did, because only he knew that we was going to be sitting here, and her story, I know, is probably something that's helping you and me and somebody else that needs to hear it, because you don't share with the world. You go to your conferences and tell your friends or whatever.
They might know I'm in recovery, but baby, they don't know the details of my story. You know, when people say, you don't know my story.
Yeah.
You don't. You really don't know my story. And you think everything is that glitters is gold. And they said, baby, she driving that Angel, that white car, this, that. Well, that's because her mama drove one too. Yeah, she did. But baby, you don't know my story.
My mama drove a white car.
Okay. So I'm just saying, it was a lot that I was grateful. It's still a gratitude of love. Because all of that I went through, it's like I'm reaping the benefits every day. Baby, I got that pension. I got that Social Security. Excuse me, I got that retirement. And I am living my best life.
You are.
Okay.
You are always in a good mood. And
Lord,
wait a minute.
Jesus. And it ain't just because of money.
It ain't because no.
It's because Jesus. And thank you, Lord, that me and my baby had joined Second Ebenezer when we was together. I had a church home. I had somewhere to run to and go. You know, because you still need a church base. Okay? It wasn't my life.
Millie, let me ask you this, because I don't have a church base anymore. I don't know if we've talked about this, because maybe we have, because I have issue with, Tikisha and I have talked about it.
Okay.
Maybe because I've seen so much behind the scenes with the church.
Yep.
And I struggle with, you know, I've just come to get closer to God by myself in my house, rather than the relationship that I was having, non-relationship I was having when I was in the church.
Okay.
So I struggle with that, that you have to have a church base. I struggle with that. Well, Tikisha,
I absolutely do, because the chances of me joining a church are slim to none.
Okay.
And it's just my own thing because I don't know if I've ever felt, well, I shouldn't say ever, but like welcome and comfortable. I was in attendance.
Okay.
Usher, sit here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've even joined ministries and still felt like I was this girl, a ghost in a shadow just there and never felt I belonged. But I read my Bible every day and I tell Keisha all the time, I commune with the Lord.
Okay.
And I understand it for me. And when I pray, I ask, it's not a pastor teaching it to me. But on the flip side of that, I would be lying if I didn't say that when it goes live on Sunday, sometimes I do tap in and I listen, but I don't necessarily get up and say that I'm going to go every week.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there's people in my life that I know that I can reach out to and will pray for and with me. Or even you and I, we talk about Bible verses and stuff all the time. So I feel like I still have, I don't know what word I want
with him.
Yes,
Fellowship.
without going into the building.
Because I feel like I've come to a point, and I know you were elder in the church. I come to a point where I feel like that's what it is. It's become just the building. But I've been reading the beginning of it where I see where they built the tabernacle and everything, and how sacred it's
and not to
supposed
cut
to
you
be.
off, but you know I'm gonna forget my thought. The thing that I feel like I miss in my life is that I don't have an elder to go to. I don't have that.
Okay.
I don't have anybody that's seen where I'm at right now that I can call and talk to. The elder that I got in my life is 52. I'm 48.
Okay.
I have my dad, but my dad, that ain't.
Right.
That ain't it.
No.
Love him to death, but that ain't it.
Right.
So that I miss, and I wish I had the mother of the church that I could call and tell my deep dark secrets. Because how you talked about your dad, that's me. That has been me in the El Dorado with my gun, ready to end it all.
Okay.
So that's why when you talked about that, that hits me because I know.
Absolutely.
I know how I've just sat there and just like, so this what you gonna do? This what you gonna do? You gonna leave your son? This what you gonna do? And I don't know if I ever told you that. I don't think I've ever said that out loud to anybody on the face of this earth until today.
Wow. Wow.
And that hasn't just been one time.
Let me say this to you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. In life, we all need support. And I don't mean your bestie.
Right.
I mean someone that has walked, been through something, and they also have this saying, to be a good leader, you first have to be a good follower. And don't think because I'm an elder that I haven't, or a minister, or as God elevated me and took me to where I'm at. Because I believe He's using me for sure. It's not because I haven't seen some things or have questions. It's because I know at some point, and more than once, I'm going to need the support. Had I not had a church home when my husband passed, which was my dog, by the way, my late husband, we was like this. We didn't have no secrets. Nan. Especially after all we had been through. Had I not had a base, you read the scripture that is for you to run into. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have somewhere to run. You got to have shelter. You got a house. You got a house to run to when you're sleepy, tired, want to eat. You need a shelter. I don't care. Everybody. And they could say, like what you said, baby, you read your Bible, you have fellowship with the Lord, you commune. Okay? Even if it's for a moment as just that. Let me give you another example. I was very conflicted on loving my late husband and then opening up to a new.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, for three years or more, I was like, I don't need no man. My husband left me good. He didn't want no other man to come take what he blessed me and worked hard for. So I'm done. It's a done deal. My girlfriend said, are you gonna ever date? I said, when is that? And I had to go somewhere where I was listening to. See, because we can commune with the Lord, but the Lord uses other people.
Mm-hmm.
He uses who he
This is
uses,
for sure.
yes. But that's why the shepherd is there. Because he using that shepherd. But that shepherd, one thing I've learned to know, the shepherd is not perfect.
That's maybe where I struggle.
Yeah.
It's because I know too many non-perfect shepherds.
Right. And ain't nan shepherd perfect. And a nan shepherd that don't go through some dirt. You better read the Bible deeper. Mm-hmm. The shepherd asks questions. The shepherd go through trials and tribulations. The shepherd goes through trying to pull the sheep back together. And one thing I have learned, don't judge the shepherd unless you're ready to be one. Okay. And I ain't. I'm an elder. I'm over ministries. I do all that I do. But would I want to be in my shepherd's place or his wife's? No.
So you go just to receive the word?
I go to receive the word. I go to fellowship because it's a few people, because I got a mother that's not at the church anymore that I talk to. I go to, if it was not me going there, I wouldn't have received my 3 spiritual daughters that love me dearly. I go fellowship because you don't know who God is placing there. I go so that others today, this is just for today, I go so that others see that if you go through what all I went through, baby, you can still walk in proud.
But do you believe that you have to go to church for that to happen? Because God drops people in my life all the time.
Not like he would if you went to the storehouse.
But when I was going, I don't think that I felt like how I do now with him.
You may have been at the wrong one. I'm just being real.
No, I appreciate what you're saying.
Guess what? I was at, now let me, come on now. I was at a storehouse in a church. Woo, let me think, how many years was I there? I know I had to be there about 15 years, maybe.
I so struggle with this now. And I hope it, you know, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like in order for me to get closer to him, I had to remove myself to the level I am now.
Yes.
Because I went for years, and what I have learned now, I sadly never.
To strengthen you You had to come. Sometimes you have to, remember the word, set yourself apart.
Mhm.
That's what the word says, doesn't it? Sometimes you have to be set apart. Only to what? Go back.
So you think that believe? I don't have to use the word think because I was told
I
to keep
believe that the storehouse,
the correct one.
the correct one, where seeds, your seed grows. Because see, if I wasn't getting better, I couldn't stay where I'm at. Because I've been where I was at for 15 years. And you can feel the stagnation.
Mm.
You know it, you feel it, I
But
couldn't
also,
stay.
Millie, I believe also you because of your heart and who you are. I believe that's why it's helping you
But you got a
because
heart too.
yeah, but I won't say not like you, but you but I'm saying you are the things that you have been through in life has led you to where you are now, where I believe I'm getting there just now. Where when you go and you fellowship, you go ready to receive. I believe that I was
Most of the time, not all the time. I go sometime because I know I need to go. I just don't want to go. I drag myself. It's been many days where I've dragged myself.
Excuse me. Sorry, I burp every
That's
episode.
It's been many days. And let me say this. That's what it's for. For those who are hurt. See, the things that sound cliche is real. The church is a hospital for broken hearts.
You got to find the right one though, because
You better.
it's so many. It's become a show.
Do you think
It's become a show?
do you think that I didn't have to go through that? I was somewhere where I was comfortable with my husband.
It's become a show.
It is, but you got to do two things. It's a saying. Let me say it. When the student is ready, you know the rest?
No.
The teacher will appear.
Okay.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And what that means is this. You do have to visit and go to different ones. You have to be willing. I mean, don't forget, the churches I came from and went to is two total different churches. But I was thirsty. I was ready. And you know in your spirit, you just said, you looking for a mama.
An elder.
Mhm.
An
Elder. I need some advice. Who I'm gonna get it from?
Who you gonna go to? Okay. So I'm not saying that the church, the building, the place is the answer to all. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying this, that it is definitely a base where you can run to.
I'm okay.
And guess what? You can be okay right now.
Yeah, right now, today, I'm okay.
Right now. And remember, everything is just for today.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all you got.
Yeah, I might be gone in 5 minutes on a podcast live. We don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So it's because it is a lot of hypocrisy.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you get into the spirit for real, like I done gotten been reading, I'm like, this the way he want us to live. And it's been a struggle for me to go in the building that I know is supposed to be sacred and know that it's a show.
Yes.
And I know the show is
Woo!
rehearsed. And I know it's a performance. And I struggle with that. So right now, I don't feel like it's for me. I don't know if it's always going to be like that. Okay. But I feel like, let me get every day.
You're not alone. A couple of my daughters feel like that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know, because the blessing is that I have to do what's best for Millie.
Mm-hmm.
Although I see what I see,
Mhm.
and I know what I know.
Yeah, you could ignore the show.
I can ignore the show because guess what? I've ignored so many things in my life before. Been there, done that. And another thing that I see in a lot of churches just using the same old thing over and over and over. You just use the same old folks. So what you have to do is make sure you doing what you need to do for God and what pleases you. What pleases him. That's what I said first.
Mm-hmm.
Then what pleases you. And if you can do that not outside your church home, do what you do. Like you just said, you good. But I do believe, I believe that if you go or find a storehouse,
Mm-hmm.
see, because knowing the type of person that I am, I like big stuff. I like living life big, huge. Unless they really got it going on, little small church just ain't gonna do for me. Because of the type of person I am. And what I like.
Yeah.
I like big.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm paying my tax, you better produce. Put on something. It better be singing and making me tap and jump, making me do something, okay?
You know what?
So I'm grateful of where I am. And this is just for today.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow I might say, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm out this piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm grateful to where, and the place where I'm at, I made the choice to be. It wasn't my mama church, but my daddy's church.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my girl's church. I went and visited churches. And I joined this place where I'm at on the whim. Me and my husband said, now don't get up in this no church and we just join. We got to go home and talk about this first. We had that down pat. We're going to talk about it first.
Yeah, but it's so, man,
It is
me
what
and
it
you,
is.
we could talk for hours. That's why I say I love her, because it's not notice she didn't judge us because we didn't say we don't want to go on that. You like, you commune with God first and you do, that's for today, and then one day, I'm not saying I'm not ever going to go be a member no more, or whatever. Right now, I feel like I'm closer to God than I've ever been.
Yeah.
And it's changing my life in a way that I've never thought it was going to change. My conversations are different.
Mm-hmm.
Who I let into my life is different.
Come on.
The atmosphere I create around myself is different. And I didn't do that before. So maybe I had to get to that level before I can go back. Because maybe I will be stronger like you and can ignore the show.
You got to be balanced. You got to be balanced when you don't look at the storehouse as the house. I mean, for real. Because the storehouse might have something going on and I might want to participate. But if my husband said, babe, we doing that, I'm probably going to go with my man.
My man.
That's, because it starts at home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spirituality starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I give, one thing I believe in is I'm gonna give my husband his due respect. That's my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give him that respect. So, and guess what else I don't do? I don't judge because my husband ain't joined yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's her husband ain't joined it. Yeah.
My husband has not joined.
Y'all been married how long now?
It'll be 3 years in June.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't no heathen. He know the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
He pray. When we in trouble, he be like, okay, elder, come on. You want me to pray over you? Yes, right now.
But you don't judge him. But
I don't judge him. No. Because that's the one the Lord gave me. I know he gave me that one because I wasn't looking. He wouldn't have been my type. It was like, ooh, don't let me make that ugly face. But the Lord
So you do
clean your eyes.
you do what God tell you to do.
That's it, baby.
You don't expect Howard to do what you do.
Nope. Absolutely not.
You know another lesson I learned from her, because I don't know how much time we have, but let me tell you this. We talked about her deceased husband, Tony. And I said I've gotten lessons from her since the beginning that I probably got later in life. One lesson I got when she remarried Howard. She came one day to get service by me, get her lashes done, and she was having, she got all these different ministries. She probably the one about to say. She got all these different conferences and meetings and things where she helped the ladies. So she had this event about to happen to Keisha. And
my retirement party.
I was a retirement party. And so she walked in and she was like on the phone with Howard. She was needing him to do something. And he was, well, I ain't got time. He was,
he was on 10.
He was on 10.
Or 12.
Yes. And she was like, okay, baby. All right. I'll get it done. Okay. No, don't worry about it. And she hung. I was like, she didn't fuss back. She didn't holler. And I was like, you was so calm. She said, because I get it done, And she said, I'll get somebody to take care of it. Girl, within 10 minutes, Howard called her
Is
back.
that long?
It wasn't even 10 minutes. Howard called her back like, babe, what time did you need me to do that? What did you need? And she was like, she told him what she needed. He said, I'll take care of it. She hung up again and said, you could catch more bees with honey being sweet.
Yeah.
She's like, he don't want nobody else to do it for me. He gonna take care of it. And she didn't holler. And I just learned from her, like, wow, I remember the times I was getting back, arguing, hollering, fussing, She said, I'll waste energy on that. Okay, baby. All right. Okay, I'll take care of it.
And I've had to learn that being with him and the type of man that he is. Howard does not want another man doing what he's supposed to be doing. Because I'm supposed to have a soft life, okay? And he's supposed to do what I ask of him. Because when he asks me something, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, I don't know how much time we got, but I'm going to tell you this little short story. My husband, when I met him...
We can go over time.
Oh, okay.
It ain't no rules here.
Okay, look. He wasn't flying because of a medical condition.
I remember that.
With his lung.
Yeah.
He wasn't flying. So I was like, okay, Lord, well, maybe you're telling me I need to travel differently. We'll go on a train and we'll, drive, bus, whatever. So I'm fine because he still let me do whatever else I'm going to do on the side. Okay. Mm-hmm. So when the doctor released him that he could fly, I didn't tell you this, Keisha, I forgot. When the doctor released him that he could fly, we flew to Vegas where our timeshare is at. So when we flew from Vegas, he said, well, I can't come this far and not see the grandbaby. So then we set it up where we could fly from Vegas to Texas, back to Vegas, back to Detroit. So we done been to Vegas a few times. So I'm like, okay. So I'm in this this little club or association called the Marriage Club. Because, you need to be around other married couples. Mm-hmm. And I used to love when the storehouse had that, but they stopped. Mm. So when the storehouse don't have something, you got to go where you know it's at. Mm. Okay. Just throw that out.
Yeah. Look, it was like in my head.
So anyway, I joined this little association. Anybody could join it, marriage club. There's couples that they do things together. They travel. Child, they sent me this email and said for Valentine's of 2025, they're going to Dubai. Mm. I said, Lord, I'm there. So I lightly prayed, Lord, Father God, could you help me, introduce this to my husband? And sure enough, I went to him, and I promise you, I know I prayed first, because when I went to him, we was sitting there having lunch. I said, bang. I said, a marriage club, this little club I told you about, they sent me an email and said that in 2025 for that Valentine's week. I don't know why I threw that in because he don't even celebrate Valentine's. That's me trying to build some points, some guru points or whatever. I said for a week, I said, baby, they going to Dubai. You wanna go? We go. He said, yeah. I said, baby, Dubai. I said, baby, it's Dubai. He said, okay. He said, we can go. I said, okay. We get ready to go on our little Alabama trip, driving. Shy. I said, now, baby, I'm about to pull the trigger and put the deposit. You sure? He said, yeah, woman, I thought you had already
Did that.
I remember when he couldn't fly and he never stopped her from going on her trips. You going with your friends and you and him for y'all honeymoon caught the train. I was like, you going on the train?
You don't know what God can do. I kept that on the altar. Lord, please heal my husband. Lord, please heal my husband. Lord, please heal my husband. Now I gotta say, Lord, please bring my husband to somebody. Lord, please bring him. I mean, because it was not at the being honest, it wasn't at the forefront that he gotta come serve what I serve. Mm-hmm. He served doing what he do. Mm-hmm. And he do serve. Because he get on my nerve helping them people sometimes when he be helping. But that's what he do. Yeah. And I can't judge him for what he do and how he help and how he listens to what God tells him. Mm-hmm. So, because some of the stuff he do, I couldn't do. I be like, babe, that may be crazy though, for real. He said, okay, baby, but you ain't dealing with her. I be like,
you're right.
Thank you, Millie. Thank you for coming today.
You're very welcome.
You done have my friend in tears over there.
Yeah, I ain't got time to be crying. I use my new mascara today. I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
I'm just talking.
I'm just talking.
That's how we. I didn't even think. Actually, I didn't even think about the stories of your life until you sat down and I started thinking about how I relate to things that we've discussed. And I'm like, man, Tikisha probably should hear this. Tell her about this. Tell her about that. And somebody else probably, because you never know from looking at someone what they have.
Listen, I don't know if I talked to you about this, but I know a lot of people had commented saying that they wanted more from that episode when I discussed me being in the hole and being depressed. But I got a few phone calls from people who told me that they actually have felt the same way, from people that I never suspected, because we come out and we put on our face and our front and we act like everything is perfect. Yep. When on the inside, we're falling apart and to pieces. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you are an example of you can come out of that and be well and be good and be fine and live a happy life. And live a happy life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Your best life.
That's what I got another jacket that says living my best life. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Tikisha, baby. Because I done adopted you.
Okay. Period.
You can call me anytime.
Thank you.
If you got any issues.
Thank you.
To talk. And I'm sincere.
I'm a little sensitive.
It's all right, baby. I'm sincere about that because we all need a tribe and a sincere group of people.
Yes.
That you can call and say, look, Millie, like I know who, when I'm emotional and I'm going through something and I'm feeling something, who to call. I can call one of three people. One, my dog, T-Bone, Shabone. Two, my cousin, Vanessa. Mm-hmm. And three, my prayer partner. And now, John, don't call her and tell her everything, because she's slightly judgmental. And I love her.
She done said her name, Jesus. It's all right.
I thought you had turned it off.
No.
Well, she just slightly. I love her, and she knows that she is.
Judgmental.
So I just some stuff especially when
you know who to go to on what subject.
Come on.
So that's where your tribe come in.
That's where my tribe come in. And honey, I can always
And
come
don't none
get
of
my
the-
lashes
And
done.
don't none of them people go to her storehouse.
No, not a one. And when I get my lashes done, baby, I could talk about anything and everything.
Mhm.
Ain't nothing off the table. And I be just laying there. I just talk about it. And the same thing when I go get my hair done. Oh my goodness, when I go get my hair done, honey, I go in there, I be like, he get on my nerve. She'll say, okay, that's how you feel. I said, yeah. She said, all right.
No judgment.
No judgment. I love the no judgment zone.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I love a no judgment zone too, but you know what I love more?
What?
Correction. Somebody who can tell me, no, sis.
You out of order.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my 3 come in. Because they can say, nah, cuz. Or, well, yeah, you're right. Just like when I cut that person out of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one person, the 3 that I told you about, she said, baby, that was past the expiration date. How did you do that?
How you feel after cutting somebody out your life like that? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel sad?
I felt a load off
Mm.
because of who I am. I'm always trying to make something work.
Hmm.
Always trying to make it righteous. Especially if you mad. Okay?
Mhm.
You know, my babies
Mhm.
or something, or one of my loves, or
Mhm.
one of my favorites. I'm always gonna try to, and I'm always looking at correcting me. What could I have done better? And she said, baby, you couldn't have done nothing. She told me that was just earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Millie, that was past the expiration date. She said, because if you have somebody that talk about you like a dog, but could sit up and break bread with you, she said something wrong with that picture.
And on that note,
I think that's the benediction
This
right
is
there.
Millie. I know.
Listen, I've enjoyed today. How about you, Tikisha?
absolutely.
I mean, this was a breath of fresh air for.
Of me just talking about my life.
And listen,
I mean, but that's what we do
that's
every
what we
week.
do. Yeah, that's literally what we do. We just talk about our life experiences, and it was a blessing for you to come and share. You share stuff that I knew and stuff I didn't know, but I think it's a blessing for other people to know that you can go. Yes, the freedom that you can feel
to share
Yes.
your story and be transparent and be who you are, which is authenticity, and just keep it moving. It is a joy and a freedom to keep it moving.
To keep it moving. Hey, listen, we want y'all to like, listen, subscribe, share. Share this episode with somebody that may deal with some stuff, maybe going through some stuff, maybe,
Absolutely.
you know, if you got friends or family, if, you know, they don't have to watch it, they can just listen, share it. Tikisha, you got something you want to say?
I do not.
I think that's it for us. So until next week, we will see you all next time. Thank you, Millie.
You're welcome.